Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is time for another underrated adult coloring artist. I did one a few weeks ago and I wanted to add more to the list because that was by no means a full list. There's actually a lot of adult coloring artists that to some of us were like, oh yeah, we know them. But then when you start talking about them, or for me having a channel, I tend to know a lot more artists than the average person. But when I would talk about a certain artist, someone would be like, I don't know who that is. And then I realized, okay, silly me. Obviously not everyone knows who these people are. I do because I have an adult coloring channel and find the obscure books. So we're doing another round and I am showing you 5 more artists that you may have never even heard of. And some of these you can buy on Amazon. So I will leave links in the description below. Others, you buy their books. They do have printed books, but they're through Etsy. So I'll leave links for those as well, just so you can find them. Let's get started. First is Emily Oberg. She had her book before, so I should have grabbed the older edition, and then kind of just disappeared off the map for a while. And then just recently came out with this one. It is on Amazon US and UK. And it basically took her old book, put it in English for one, because the old one was not, and then added a couple new images. Her style is very unique. Kind of, in some ways, might remind you of like a cross between Hannah Carlson meets Maria Trolle, but it's still got its own unique quality. And you can get this book now, and it's great paper. See that? Oh yeah, good paper. And it's hardcover, bound well. So yeah, I mean, this is a great book. Her art style is really fun and unique. And like I said, she kind of fell off the face of the earth and then came back with this one. So this is a good one if you don't have her old one. Her old one, to get that, you usually have to buy through a third-party seller on Etsy, and it's pretty pricey. Next is Karolina Kubikowska. I only grabbed 3 of my collection of hers. I really need to do an adult coloring book collection video. In fact, in the comments below, let me know if you're even interested in those. I always start recording them and then I'm like, does anyone care? So let me know. But I feel she's pretty underrated and not well known. But the reason for that is she's not easily found. Back in the day, you could actually grab these on Amazon. You can't now, but you can get them on her Etsy. So she has some new ones out that I actually plan on ordering. But this is Magic Hour. Now her work basically takes all of her tattoo art and kind of turns it into a coloring book, but they're all spiral bound except one. It's a hardcover and bound, but the paper is all super thick, one-sided. I will use watercolors on these. Markers do great. So even though these will cost you a bit more, especially because you're buying them on Etsy, with shipping, I mean, look at how freaking thick this is. This thing is huge. And it's longer than your average book. So it's not a piece of crap, and it's signed. So keep that in mind. In fact, here's one I did with watercolor. I was trying to do something. Not sure what I was trying to accomplish. I put glitter, but it holds up really well. And her artwork, I don't know, just screams use watercolor on me. I know there's some where Zucchini Kitty did distress ink. That's another way. Her artwork is just so loose that it almost needs messy coloring. Gosh, the paper is so thick in this one. And then I'll show you one more from her. Ticket to Dreams. Now, if they're out of stock, don't worry because sometimes they come back, but she doesn't always have them come back. Now, this one is not single-sided, but still, it's very thick. I would use watercolor or Inktense on these. I would do color-alongs, I had started this one, and I forget what I was doing. Something with blues. I had a plan, and then I kind of was like, But I would do a color along in these. It's just I don't know who would want to watch it, considering you can't really color along unless you have these books. But that is definitely another artist, and these are by no means in any particular order. All right, we have another one. Now this is Lenka The best way to get her books is from her Etsy store because they're spiral bound and printed on good quality cardstock, and they're signed. So let me show you. I mean, listen, this paper is mad thick. But her artwork is really pretty. You could do markers, pencils. It's super thick, so you could easily do markers. Watercolor, just about anything. Single-sided, but yeah. I usually get her packets or wait till she has like little sale bundles, but whatever floats your boat. That's Victorian Grace. This one, Fairy Bliss. I keep meaning to color in this one, and then I keep forgetting. But isn't that cute? Very unique. Her artwork is amazing. I mean, I'm honestly surprised more people don't color her stuff. You can get individual pages too, but I tend to just buy her books. I don't know, makes more sense to me. But she has all sorts of different styles, so sometimes you might not like every picture in the book, which I get, so you can also get her PDFs and just download an individual page. But she is another Etsy seller. Speaking of Etsy sellers, this is Sakums. Okay, this artist, you can get the PDFs and print them yourself, but you can also buy her books. Now, her books print uniquely, okay? You can get them in watercolor paper or marker paper or colored pencil paper. That's right. 3 options. So she was kind enough to actually send them to me. So she had sent me her dark fantasy book and her natural enchantment. These are both on watercolor paper, but I also have them in marker paper, but they're spiral bound. And this is like legit cold press watercolor paper. It is absolutely awesome. They do flip down, so I'm going to try and flip and not hit the camera. But yeah, this is the watercolor one. The marker paper is thick and it's actual marker paper, so it's not going to bleed. So it's going to be kind of fun to color those. And I haven't, just because I'm always like, oh, I don't want to ruin it. This one I think will be even more fun. And you may recognize some of these images. I think she's been in Coloring Haven. But really pretty. This is one of my favorites. I have the PDF of this one too, so if I want to do pencils, I could just print it out on my pencil paper. Yeah, gorgeous art. So you can buy her individual pages, her books. She also sells them in sets. And then, like I said, it's really unique. You get to pick the paper. Not everyone gives you that option. All right. Last but certainly not least is Emmanuel Cullen. I was surprised this one's not as popular as I thought it was. Coloriage Wild is hard to get a hold of though, so that's part of the problem. They used to be on Amazon all the time. I will leave a link to them on Amazon, but they're not as easy to get a hold of. I didn't grab my whole collection. I believe I have all 1 through 7. I should. I grabbed a handful. But they're little 8x8 books here. Really thick paper though, like ultra. I'm talking the thickest cardstock you've ever met. Watercolor does great. It's smooth though, so you can do this with pencils as well. Ooh, I'm trying to just like bend it to flip. They are all portraits. Beautiful though, beautiful work. You can also get these on Etsy. I'll find a few links to sellers who sell them on Etsy. In case you want to snag them that way. But yeah, I mean, you've probably seen them here and there, but they're just not as popular as they probably should be because they're really cute. But I mean, look at that artwork. Isn't that neat? And they all kind of have like a different theme. In fact, I think, isn't there an 8 now? I need to look. I stopped buying like all of these books when I took a break from buying things, and now I'm like, shoot, did I miss one? But as you can see, I mean, these are well made. So you'll notice they're like 20 bucks a pop on Amazon. Dude, that is worth every penny. Also, this spiral binding is not cheap. This is nice. But like I said, this paper's so thick, it's like a pain in the butt to just flip it. But it's also perforated edges, so you could like pull them out, tape it down if you're gonna use watercolor. But yeah, I mean, it's worth every penny of that 20 bucks you spend to buy it. Actually, in fact, I think I spent more than 20 bucks buying mine, so you guys would be lucky. I've seen these done with markers. This one I've always wanted to color. I really need to. Again, I'd love to do color alongs with these. I just don't know who actually owns these books, because these ones are even more obscure than the ones in my last episode. So those are 5 more artists that I feel don't get enough love, but really need to get some love. So spread the word, you know, tell everyone out there about these artists. Buy them for yourself. Karolina Kubikowska has a few new ones in her store already that I need to buy. But yeah, these are more artists to check out. Like I said, most of them you can get through Etsy. These 2 you can get on Amazon still. And I'll leave links for you. But I'd love to know if you have any more artists that you feel are underrated or not seen enough or just don't get out there enough. And until next time, take care. Bye now.